Welcome back to Synergy 2022. My name is David Carroll, and I'm a solutions consultant. I'll start off by introducing this guy over here. Wrong way. This guy over here. That is actually a real photo of me. It's not a professional model. I started my career at Thomson Reuters fresh out of school about 10 years ago. I did some tech support for our compliance product, DT Max. Did that for a few tax seasons. Then I went over to more of a training role. I helped our customers get the most out of our products. I then spent a number of years working in sales. And then I ended up leaving Thomson Reuters and I went to go work at a cloud accounting firm startup where I did sales and marketing as well as some IT consulting. And then about 3 years ago, I rejoined Thomson Reuters. The reason I bring that up is that during my time at the firm, I got to experience firsthand the joys of working with all these applications that are available in the market. And for most people, that might sound terrible, but I'm a little bit of a nerd. And so I really got a lot of joy out of compiling the sort of utopia of a tech stack. And so that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, is using technology to grow and scale your firm. And so we're going to be looking at two applications specifically that are going to help you gain and retain customers. I'm going to be talking specifically about Ignition, which is a sales automation tool. And I'm going to be talking to you about Onvio Client Center, which is sort of a portal system that integrates with our Onvio firm management platform. Now, before we jump into the software applications, let me know if this is a relatable experience. You're meeting with a potential customer, and they seem super awesome. Everyone's having a great time. You're really excited about working with each other. You're enjoying lattes. Maybe you're all touching hands like in this photo, although I suspect probably not. And you wrap things up. You're sure that, they'd be a great fit for you and vice versa. And at the end of the meeting, hey, listen, this was a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and send you an email with a proposal. And so you do that, you send it off, you open up your Microsoft Outlook, fire off that email talking about your products and your pricing. You hit send, and then you wait. And you wait, and you hear nothing. And then you find out eventually that they decided not to move forward with you. Man, what a drag. That's something that would happen to me actually more often than I care to admit when I was working at the firm. And the reason is, despite having a great initial meeting, the proposal just fell flat. And so that's why it's really important, and that's something I discussed in my sort of keynote speech, the importance of a good business proposal. And so that's where Ignition comes into play. Ignition is an application that's going to help you automate the creation of business proposals. It's going to help you automate the payments. And how it helps you gain more customers is the way it's designed is it's going to increase your conversion rate. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. What if instead of sending off that plain text boring email, your prospect received this in their inbox? So they get that email saying that Growth Accounting, our mock accounting firm, has sent you a proposal for the company, in this case, Ace Consulting. So now the potential client can click review and sign, at which point it'll bring them to your proposal. Okay. So we're going to start off with a nice introduction message over here. There's even a little video that they can watch, which provides additional context about your firm. And it's these little touches, these kind of marketing collateral pieces, which are going to greatly increase the probability of your customer signing your proposal. And they're going to sign it faster as well. So they're learning about your firm. They click on to the next step. This is where they're going to get further introduction to your firm. They're going to learn about, about kind of the background of the firm, the value propositions that you're offering. You're letting them know how they're going to help grow your business. They talk about the different services. It's going to include a client testimonial that's going to build further credibility. And then there's introduction to your staff. This looks pretty good so far. All right, let's take a look and see what that proposal consists of. Okay, so we're looking at a bookkeeping accounting service here, and I can get some more information to see what that entails exactly, as well as a business startup consultation. And you'll notice that the services are displayed separately from the price because we don't want the client to just skip past all this and just focus on the price. Let's build up a bit of value before we introduce the price. Okay, so far so good. And I can see as the potential customer, this is what it's going to cost for the accounting, monthly bookkeeping, and the one-off business startup consultation. That's going to be billed on acceptance. Great. I also have the ability to enter in my payment details right away. And so when you're in sales, this is what you want to do. You want to make it as easy and as simple as possible for your customers to buy from you. Don't throw up friction. Don't throw up roadblocks. Make it easy. And then finally, they're going to take a look at your engagement letters. And once they've accepted that, they'll go ahead and sign the proposal. And just like that, we've got a new customer. Awesome. So earlier we saw what the client or potential client would see from their perspective when they looked at that really nice looking proposal. Let's take a look and see on the back end what the accountant will see from their perspective when using Ignition. So the first thing we're going to explore is the dashboard. And so here I can see things like my revenue for the year. And the dark purple is going to indicate how much of that revenue came from recurring projects or engagements, whereas the light purple is going to show us how much is sort of that one-off project work. And based on our proposals that have been signed, we can extrapolate the revenue that we're going to make in concurrent months. We're also going to see, how much we've collected for the year, what our monthly average looks like. We can kind of see how much revenue we collect on average per customer. There's all kinds of different metrics that we can take a look at here on the revenue side. And if we're really growth oriented, it might be a good idea to set a growth target for my firm. Then if we enable payments, we have some more data over here. We can look and see, what we've collected from those automated payments. We can see, what we expect to collect in subsequent months. We can see, which cards are going to be expiring soon. All helpful stuff. Scrolling down a little bit further, we can see a pipeline here. And based on our proposals that we've sent out, we can see, how many are awaiting signature, how many have been viewed, and, what our projected revenue looks like based on our sales pipeline. And if we're finding that this seems a little bit lower than we'd like, well, that'll be a good indication that we need to invest in a little bit in our marketing efforts and do some prospecting. Over at the conversion side of things, we can see, how many we've sent out, how many proposals we've sent in the last 30 days, and we can subsequently learn what percentage of those customers or those prospects converted over to being customers and how long it took those clients to sign on the virtual dotted line. Then we can kind of see the quantity of clients that we have over time. And hopefully if you're doing a good job, this is going to trend up and to the right from month to month. We're also going to get a summary of our recent proposals that were accepted over here. And of course, if I click on any of these, it'll bring me to the proposal and I can check them out in greater detail. And then finally, I can get a look at the services and I can see based on the packages I have in Ignition, what's my most popular offering and, how much revenue on a percentage basis that's bringing in to my accounting firm. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all of our proposals that we've sent and get a list of all of our awaiting proposals and see all of our accepted ones, as well as drafts that we haven't sent out yet. So here I have that comprehensive list of all of my proposals. And of course, depending on what I want to see, I can filter this list. So maybe I want to see all of my accepted proposals. So these are 1 customers. Fantastic. I can see, when the renewal date is. I can see when it was accepted. And I can also see the total value of this year-long engagement. And then based on all my accepted proposals, I can see what revenue that's going to generate for my firm for the year. Same idea for my soon-to-be expiring proposals. Here's where I'll see the ones that are set to expire soon, and I'll know that these are the guys that I need to re-engage with. And now let's take a look at all of the proposals that we sent out, but we're awaiting an acceptance. And same idea, we can see the name of the proposal, what client it pertains to. We can see the recent activity for this proposal, and then the expected revenue value as well. And then here I can see in aggregate all the expected revenue based on my yet to be accepted proposals. The next thing I want to show you is how quickly we can go out and create a new business proposal. And so this is how Ignition is going to save you a lot of time when it comes to building your proposals. So what we'll do is we'll name this proposal. We'll call it Tax and Accounting Package. And I'm going to prepare it for my friend Bob. Bob's Hot Dogs. Terrific. So once that's populated, we're going to choose the proposal start date. It's going to be on acceptance. It's going to run for 12 months. Once I've got that popped in, I'm going to go over to the services portion over here. And so initially when you get Ignition, you're going to build out a library of all of your services. And that's how we're going to quickly create proposal. We're just going to choose it from a pick list. So let's do some quarterly bookkeeping. Let's see here. We're going to do quarterly bookkeeping, 250 transactions. It's going to automatically populate the price for me. So that's going to be billed on a quarterly basis. And then we're also going to provide a tax return, corporate tax return. Perfect. It's also going to enter in the value of that service. And then at this point, we can opt to allow payments. So Ignition will automatically collect payments from your customer. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to select an engagement letter. So you might use one as mandated by the CPA order, or maybe you have several engagement letters, some for English speaking, some for French speaking clients, some for compliance, some for bookkeeping. You'll be able to upload various engagement letters. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to curate the presentation of the proposal. And it's at this point that we can add a welcome message, we can add an introduction video, we can add our brochure. So I've already got that hopped in. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to send out that proposal. Perfect. And now that's going to be added to my pipeline. And I'm also going to have the opportunity to get a bit of a summary, as well as view what the client would see from their perspective. Perfect. And that's how fast it took me to build out that proposal. In summary, we found that the average firm will spend up to 2 hours when it comes to building out a proposal for a prospect, and the average firm will spend up to 30 hours on accounts receivables. Ignition is going to mitigate that significantly, and it's going to help you win more customers by quickly building out those professional, high-converting business proposals. Okay, so we saw how we can use technology to win new customers. Let's take a look at a different application we can use to retaining our existing customers. Now, one of the surest ways that we can retain customers is by delivering awesome work. In addition to delivering awesome work, the methodology we deploy to deliver that work can have a big impact as well. So if we want to provide a impactful, amazing customer experience, we can leverage technology. And that's what I'm going to show you how we can do that by using Onvio Client Center portals. So here I've created a pretend customer, Mr. Lee Campbell, and I've set him up with the Client Center portal. And so Lee is now logged in, and this portal is going to be divided into two components, the Documents section and the Tasks section. We're going to start by looking at the Tasks section first. This is where I can effectively assign to-do items for Lee to complete. Examples of these to-do items might be invoice payments, it might be providing or uploading documents, or it could be signing different forms, PDFs. So earlier in DT Max, I created Lee's tax return, and I can really quickly send the client copy to my customer. I just choose client copy, send it off to Onvio. The other thing I can do from DT Max is I can send out requests for electronic signatures. So if I hit this little pen icon up here, I'm going to have a list of available forms. Now, what's nice about this is that I don't have to specify where on the PDF I need the signature or the date to appear. DT Max is going to cover that for me. Now, that being said, with Onvio, I can also request a signature for any PDF document that I want. So I might want to use this for collecting signatures on engagement letters if I'm not already using Ignition, or collecting signatures for financial statements. I just need to specify where on the PDF that signature is going to appear. So I sent off some forms to be signed for Lee. I'm going to jump back to his portal. And so all Lee has to do here is click Sign Document. It's going to provide a brief description of the document. And then from here, Lee can select a signature style. If Lee is feeling particularly artistic or creative, he can sketch out his signature, or he can upload an image containing an existing signature. And then once he's done that, Onvio is going to direct the client to where the signature is going to appear. My customer is going to confirm and then click Submit. And just like that, my client has now signed their authorization form. The client will have the opportunity to download the form with the signature. Otherwise, they can just jump back to the task list. At the same time, Onvio is going to save that authorization form containing the signature in Onvio Documents. And if I actually jump back over to my DT Max, this should switch over from pending over to signed. And I'm also going to have access to a shortcut with the PDF to the PDF with the signature. So that's a really elegant and quick way to collect a signature from your customer. It's going to save you a lot of time and hassle, and it's going to save your customer a lot of time and hassle as well. And again, this is going to be a great way to provide extra value to your customer. Now, in addition to sending out a request for an electronic signature, I can also send out document requests. So if I need to collect some documents from my customer, I just need to create a document request. And so here my client sees, okay, he needs to upload last year's tax return. He can just drag and drop it. He can search for it on his desktop. He can even provide the accountant access to a folder within third-party cloud storage services like Google Drive, Dropbox, or Box.com. And then he can provide the accountant with additional context in the way of comments. And once he's done that, just hit Next. And we're done. And we're going to repeat the process for subsequent documents as well. In this case, last year's financial statements. In addition to the tasks section of the Client Center portal, we also have the documents section. And this is a great way to, again, collaborate with your customer in real time. As we saw earlier, I can quickly send off a client copy of the tax return to my customer towards the Client Center portal. And now my customer in question, in this case Lee, can jump over to the pertinent tax year. And here, the customer can select the tax return. They can view it, they can print it, and they can download it. And what's really important here is that your customer can serve themselves. So they don't have to call you up and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I lost my tax return. Do you mind sending me out an email of my tax return? They'll just be able to come here and serve themselves. Again, saving them time and saving you time as well. Additionally, the client can also securely and quickly send information back to the firm as well. So if there's a document that my customer wants to send back to the firm, then they can just drag and drop it, browse on their desktop, or link to a third-party cloud storage service. And once they've gone ahead and uploaded that, then you'll receive a notification indicating that the customer has uploaded new content. We also have a complimentary application, smartphone application of Onvio, and that's going to allow your customers to enjoy all the features that we're looking at now from a smartphone or a tablet. You're also going to be able to snap pictures of documents, source documents as well. And similar to a mobile banking application, the app will guide the customer on how to take a high quality photo and ensure that the text is in focus and it's well lit. On your part, you're going to be able to access all of your customers' documents on the go using the Onvio smartphone application. That's all the time I've got for today. I really hope that my presentation inspired you to take a second look and reevaluate your current tech stack to see if there's some opportunities to incorporate some more applications. Again, having worked in the field, I got to enjoy firsthand some of the benefits of these applications. And I think in addition to winning more customers and retaining your existing customers, these applications and workflows are going to save you a lot of time. Thank you so much for your time today, guys, and I really look forward to having more discussions with you. If any of these applications have kind of caught your attention and you'd like to learn more, then I'd highly encourage you to reach out to your sales rep, and we can always book a one-on-one demo with myself, and we can kind of take a look at these applications in greater detail and see if there could be a good fit. Again, my name is David Carroll, and I want to thank you so much for attending Synergy 2020.